Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kohalo Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers that's teaching His word in truth and sincerity. Okay. Um, I got a video. It's based off of blacklistednews.com. The title of it is called "This is a Power Grab We Haven't Seen Since 9/11." It was published April 27th, 2020, the year of prophecy. The source is the Daily Bell. It's written by Simon Black. It says Sovereign Man right there. The reason why I'm bringing out this article because it goes into some history, okay, and basically what you're seeing with this pandemic, so-called, is a power grab. Okay, you have a transition of power. You have money being transferred. You're gonna have the middle class and the poor taking a hit, while the rich and these corporations consolidate. They get bigger and they make a lot more money. Okay, and then you have these politicians, okay, setting themselves up for pushing forth their career. Okay, you got a lot of infighting between the politicians. Remember what the scriptures say: if Satan's house be divided, it cannot stand, and that's what you see. Okay, so let's just get into this article a little bit. I'm gonna read some of this article. I'm gonna bring out a few precepts, and Lord's will, brothers are edified. As you can see, it starts off by saying thousands of years ago, in 458 BC, Lucius Quintus Centenus was hard at work behind his plow on the family farm when a group of Roman senators showed up with urgent news. A foreign enemy called the Aqui had vanquished one of Rome's armies and was rapidly approaching the city. The Republic was in deep trouble. Centenus was a former consul and renowned military leader, so in their panic, the Roman Senate unanimously appointed him as an emergency dictator. All of Rome's individual freedoms were immediately suspended. Checks and balances were eliminated. Centenus would have supreme power to do whatever he saw fit during Rome's time of crisis. According to ancient Roman historians, Centenus told his wife, "Go and fetch my toga," and he immediately went to work. Centenus was legendary. He mobilized a new army, repelled the foreign invaders, and saved the city from certain destruction, all within just 15 days. But even more importantly, Centenus relinquished all of his power immediately after the victory and returned to his plow. It was a display of virtue and selflessness that Romans celebrated for centuries. Most dictators, of course, are not so principled. The ancient Greeks, despite having invented democracy, routinely appointed dictators during times of national emergency. Very few relinquished power willingly, and several, like Dionysius of Syracuse, Nabus of Sparta, Piastrus, excuse me if I'm not pronouncing these words right. I'm just trying to speed through the reading for time's sake. It says Piastratus, etc., ruled for decades. They always found a way to extend the emergency and hang on to power, and eventually the people simply became accustomed to the new reality. Okay, and this is what Esau Edom is banking on: people becoming accustomed to the new reality, the new normal, after a crisis takes place. Okay, and this is historical. It says this is still true of human nature today. Okay. Now he goes on to tell him, he goes on to his childhood story about his father and how his mother used to see his father back when he came back from business trips. When his father came back from business trips, you could stand at the gate. Now after 9/11, that changed, okay, and it hasn't came back to normal. None of that stuff is coming back to normal. So after 9/11, you had all types of all types of changes to policy. They created the TSA. You have to go through stringent protocol to go on a plane. A few years after, you had to take off your shoes and stuff like that. All types of stuff happened. So he goes into that. Let's jump down. Um, it says the wider impact of 9/11 can be seen everywhere. The government now maintains broad authority to spy on its citizens, with the NSA brazenly intercepting phone calls, emails, and communication metadata through an extraordinary surveillance dragnet. Because after all of this, 9/11 opened up all of this. Okay, more surveillance, and it was under the guise of the war on terror. Okay. Says financial institutions submit suspicious activity reports to the federal government to inform on their own customers, even for the most mundane transactions like withdrawing a few $1,000s of cash. So that was another thing that was pushed through after 9/11. Now your financial institutions have the power to tell on you to the federal government, so you can be surveilled if they think that you're transferring cash to terrorism. To terrorists. Also, if you make a purchase over more than $10,000, this is also red flags. It says U.S. law now permits the indefinite detention, i.e., incarceration without charge or trial, even of U.S. citizens. Okay, this is an encroachment on the Bill of Rights. It says this law was originally authorized in 2001, then reauthorized again in 2013. So certain things open up a way for the government to take more and more control, more and more freedom, and the people accept it because they say, oh, if I'm not doing any crime, I don't have anything to worry about. But these things creep up on you. Okay, these things creep up on you to the point where the average citizen is being affected by these different things that were passed years ago in response to some type of crisis, whether it be created backed by the government or wherever it happened. It's actual, the truth, so to speak. But Esau Edom he's a devil, and his devices take the people. Okay, the people become accustomed to the things that Esau Edom pushes after a crisis. So in the coming days, you're gonna see more surveillance programs, more forced vaccinations and stuff like that. Okay, in which people become accepting of this. Let's go to real quick. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 10:1. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah 10:1. This computer is slow. Yeah, Isaiah 10:1 says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees." Okay, and your leaders, your heads of state, okay, they're the ones decreeing the unrighteous decrees. The scripture says, "Woe unto them," meaning destruction, because these decrees are ultimately going to lead to destruction. Okay, to the destruction of their power. Okay, it says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees," and the decree is a law. Okay. It says, "and that right grievousness which they have prescribed." Let's look up the word prescribed real quick. See what that word says. Kathab. It says to write, record, enroll, to write, inscribe, engrave, write in, write on, to register, enroll. It says to decree. Okay. So some of these things that we went into are the things of recording. Okay. The communication through metadata, the surveillance, those acts are passed in the Congress, okay, in government, and they're acted upon. Indefinite detention, okay. These are part of the things that are going to bring grievousness, especially to our people, okay, and already have, okay, because remember these things go back to 9/11, 2011, okay. It says even during economic boom years from 2016 to 2019, the government still managed to overspend by 1 trillion per year, the emergency spending authorization never went away. Frankly, most of these impacts will never go away. We've become accustomed to the way things are. Now, what does the word accustomed mean? Okay. Search Google. I want to go to Animal Online though. Customary, usual. Okay. So we become accepting to these things. Okay, that's just the way it is. That's what Esau does, you know. Go to Google real quick. All right. So this computer's a little slow right now. Yeah, so the word for custom says familiarized by custom or use, bring into use, habit or practice. Okay, so basically we've been accustomed to the government fucking us over, basically fucking the citizens over. They become accustomed to it. Okay, they've been the citizens have become accustomed to of corruption. Okay, things not getting done the way they said it's going supposed to be getting done. Being lied to. Okay, let's get that in the book of James. Where is James? If I could find that real quick, that go to now ye Richmond. This thing is just mad slow right now. Let's go back real quick. Okay. It says the last thing we should ever expect is for government to voluntarily give up power. And that's what's so concerning right now. Yes, there's a virus on the loose. A lot of people are going to die, and that's terrible. It's also terrible how many people die of cancer, heart disease, natural disasters, and automobile accidents. But as I've written in numerous times over the past several weeks, the world is not coming to an end. This too shall pass, and from a public health perspective, things will one day go back to normal. Meanwhile, they completely ravaging the economy. Millions of people have already lost their jobs. Countless businesses will close forever, and trillions of dollars of prosperity has been lost. Yeah, it's been, but money and wealth is not lost. It's just transferred. Okay, so people that have lost their money, it's just been transferred back to the rich. Okay, back to the elite in some way, shape, or form through whatever institutions that they have created, whether it be your investment banks, okay, your mortgage banks, whatever, man, whatever. The money's just transferred. It says the economic toll is incalculable, but that too shall pass. It may take years, but even the Great Depression eventually gave way to economic growth. But how did the Great Depression bring forth economic growth? Through war? Okay, and the war is coming. And ultimately, there is going to be economic growth after that Third World War. It's just not going to be Edomites, you so-called white people. Okay. It says, what I'm most concerned about at this point is not the virus, nor even the economic devastation. I'm far more concerned at how governments have seized this opportunity to vastly expand their power. And that's why you have a lot of those Edomites taking up guns. Okay. And a lot of those Edomites, protesting against their government. Now, before these before this thing took place, there was countless protests throughout the world. Okay, and there's going to be more protests to come, especially over here in Babylon the Great. This is James 5:1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." Yeah, because it says your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth eaten. Yeah, your riches are corrupted because you've got your riches through fraud, basically. It says, "Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields." Remember what the scriptures say. The scriptures say that the king is fed by the field, okay? And you have deceived your laborers, okay, which is the average common worker, okay, that reaps the field, okay, to receive your riches. So that's why they're going to come up against you. It says, "Behold, the hire of your labors who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth." And though in particular those cries, okay, of those reapers that have reaped down your fields, they're talking about the Israelites, okay, because we're the only ones that can cry to the Lord of Sabaoth, which doesn't mean the Lord of Sabbaths, like that guy, like that guy that wears all black, the commander that wears all black. No, it's the Lord of armies, okay. It's talking about the Lord of armies, the Lord of hosts. All right, the Lord, he's going to come back with the chariots. It says, "Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter." So the Lord basically, he's fattening the elites up, okay, for their slaughter, okay. And they're going to be the first crop, okay, to go into slavery, okay. Going back to this article real quick. It says, I'm far more concerned at how government have seized this opportunity to vastly expand their power. They have us all cowering in our homes, stripped of the most basic freedoms to do just about anything. People are being thrown off their own private property because they're not an official resident of the town. Others have been arrested for attending a funeral. Others threatened with jail for their social media posts. Content everywhere is being heavily censored, with major tech companies like Google and Facebook telling us what we can and cannot say. Yeah, because you have the First Amendment, you have, these rights that the government gives to you, but now you have a more powerful entity, which is these private corporations, these tech companies like Google and Facebook, okay, that has control over their platforms because they're private, to basically take down any type of information that they deem, okay, against that they deem hate speech, that they deem any way they deem it, basically, because it's their platform. All right. Well, the smart thing would to do for the masses is to cut out these platforms, because what they do, they gather your information, but people are not going to do that because they have become accustomed, okay, to using these things and accepting, okay, the terms and conditions, okay, of these platforms, of these different corporations. All right, because they see more benefit in using them than their freedoms, okay. And that's just what happens. We as men of the Lord, okay, I'm just saying that because we use this platform to push this word through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Once they don't let us push this word no more, it's no need for them, because the Lord is going to get down, okay? The Lord of hosts, okay? It says governments around the world are tracking their citizens' every movement, and now they're talk of national health database and special passports, and they're spending trillions of dollars without any thought of the consequences. It's a power grab we haven't seen since 9/11. The circumstances are certainly similar. People are terrified, so the government is doing whatever it wants. Again, the public health problem will eventually be fixed. Even the economy will someday recover. He's very optimistic. Okay, he's an optimistic Edom. You can tell he's an Edomite, because Edomites are, well, just human nature in general wants normalcy, things to get back to normal. Okay. It says, but there's going to be a huge impact on our freedom from the astonishing growth of unchecked government power, and a lot of those changes will be with us permanently. Okay. So if there was to be another generation after this, which we know, I mean, well, the earth abided forever, but if there was to be another generation that came out of this, okay, and it was had the order of Esau Edom, people would not know the basic rights that we had, okay, prior, especially in the 80s and 70s and 60s, because that generation would die off. We would know surveillance, we would know technology, and the tyranny that comes with that. Okay. All right, so let me go into these last few scriptures that I want to bring out real quick. Let's start with this. This is Sirach 12:10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay. So no matter what this devil does, what he says, okay, you can never trust him. Okay. Because he's the devil. He was created to be the devil. Let's go to Proverbs 16:14. 16:4. It says, the Lord have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Now we know that we're approaching the day of evil, and what does the word evil mean? It means a bad time. Okay, and all of this stuff, all of these measures that we read in this article, okay, talking about the surveillance and the permanent detention and all of that stuff. All that stuff was created for the day of evil. Okay, it was created for the day of evil. Esau Edom can't be nothing but the wicked. He can't be righteous. Okay, his government has to consolidate power. He has to do all types of wickedness, because according to Proverbs 16:4, the Lord have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So they were created for this day of evil. Okay, they have to do what they have to do. All right, let's go to Psalms 37 and 7. It says, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. And that's Esau Edom. Okay, they're bringing wicked devices to pass. Their surveillance system, their new world order, their microchip. Okay, that's why the scriptures say rest in the Lord and wait patiently. What does the word patient mean? It means to suffer. Okay, you have to suffer. You have to rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself. Okay, don't get down. Okay, because of him who prospereth in the way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Okay, because at the end of the day, the Lord is going to get him. Right? It says, cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, for evildoers shall be cut off. But those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. Okay. So the end of this, we know that it's going to be inheritance of the earth for the righteous. Okay. And let's end with this precept right here. Let's start at Isaiah 32:5. It says, the vile person shall no more be called liberal. Okay, because Esau is the vile person. Okay, his system, his agents that work his system. Okay, especially his higher elites that work in that construct of his system. Okay, they're a vile person, but they're seen as liberal. Okay, they're seen as somebody that, work up the word liberal. Nidayab. Okay, it means inclined, willing, noble, generous. Okay, they make themselves to be noble and generous. Okay, they make themselves for people to look up to them, look for some type of benefits. Okay, in particular, you got the Democrats and the Republicans. Oh, we got to get these workers working back to normal. Okay, so they're seen as liberal. Okay, because they're giving trillions, they're passing billion-dollar bills, and with the intent, oh, we got to get the American worker back to work. Okay, really, they're vile people, because they know, because at the end of the day, this is going to collapse the system. This is going to collapse that Federal Reserve system. Okay, but they're just printing money. Okay, so it seems like they're liberal, But the scriptures say the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. And when you look up the word churl, you'll find the word niggard, I believe. It's a fact. Let me go here real quick. Churl, kayalaya. Okay. I don't know why this computer's so slow right now. Oh man. Real quick, I just read it real quick. It says the vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. Yeah, there you go, right there. Scoundrel. The word for churl is scoundrel. In a sense of withholding niggardly. Okay, scoundrel. Knave. Matter of fact, let's go here. Let's look at that word up. The word knave. Let's see. Boy, male, child, male, servant, knave. Knave. It says from late Old English, boy, male, child, male, servant. It's probably also related to Old English, youth, servant. Let's go back real quick. So it says the vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy and utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor, with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. Okay, and please believe it. All of these measures in this power grab that Esau Edom, okay, is doing is going to ultimately lead to Esau Edom coming up against the men of the Lord. Okay, and with that, I just want to say all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Kohalo Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you brothers that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Until the next episode, Shalom.